All right, earlier this month, the U.S. celebrated the 56th anniversary of the moon landing. Now, that famous mission with Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin was named Apollo 11. It happened in 1969. The New York Mets won the World Series. The very last Apollo mission happened a few years later in 1972. That is more than 50 years ago. And now we are finally going back. NASA has a brand new program. It's called Artemis. That aims to get humans back on the moon in the next couple of years. And the next test flight is to take off tomorrow. 4 astronauts will head to the International Space Station on a SpaceX rocket, where they will conduct experiments and celebrate the station's 25th anniversary. The man in charge of all this right now is Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, who President Trump has also named acting administrator of NASA, as if he didn't have enough to do fixing up this broken down, dilapidated, rickety old system from the 50s and 60s known as air traffic control. Anyway, Sean Duffy, good to have you back.
Good to be with you, Sean. Yeah, listen, with Donald Trump, NASA's back. Tomorrow, this mission's going off. The 127th mission to the space station. Mike and Sonia are the 2 of the 4 American astronauts that are on that flight. They're right out of central casting. But what happened, Sean? You talked about the moon, and I want to get to that. But on every single mission that we send up into space, whether it's Blue Origin or SpaceX or others, we keep learning and evolving. And so what's so cool is American innovators, American scientists, American manufacturers, builders are making the most advanced rockets in the world, and they're turning them out very quickly. And next year, as you mentioned, start of the year, we are going to go back to the moon. We're not going to land. We're going to go around the moon. And then about a year later, we're going to land back on the moon under Donald Trump's tenure, back on the moon 6 days. And then after that, we're going to set up our base camp. We're going to stay on the moon. And what we learn on the moon is what's going to take us to Mars. And again, as Americans, we're explorers. You think of the pioneers. You think of those who moved west. That's what we do. And by the way, we're the best at it. And again, I couldn't be more excited about us going back on our 250th anniversary. We're going to go back to the moon during Donald Trump's presidency.
So the idea is we're going to go back to the moon, and then we're going to set up a station at the moon, with the ultimate goal is to go to the next place, which would be Mars. That's the goal? And why did we stop anyway? Why did we stop?
Listen, I think what happened with NASA, when you have accidents, you know, with the shuttle disasters, you know, fear overtook the agency. We're back. We've overcome that fear, and we're going to move forward. Here's what's critical, though, Sean. The moon is a big place. There are very specific areas of the moon that are critical, that who gets there first gets to plant their flag. That's critically important. We want to get there with our international partners. We know the Chinese want to get there as well. And so speed is of the essence. And again, we are leaning full shoulder at NASA. And by the way, listen, there's been a lot we've heard of NASA focused on Earth science and global warming. No, we are space exploration. We're going back to the moon. We're going to have a base camp. I think what we learn there is going to instruct us as we go to Mars as well, and who knows from there and beyond.
What about our old, dilapidated, broken down 1950s, 60s, if you're lucky, 1970s air traffic control system? How is the progress so far on that?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So the Congress gave us $12.5 billion to start the process. We are in the works of developing the network for laying all new fiber cable. You saw the problem at Newark. That was a telecommunication problem. That's going to roll out in the next couple months. We're going to move very quickly on that. That's a couple-year project. We're going to have new radar. We're going to have a brand new en route center that controls that. You know this, but it's the 30,000-foot traffic over the country. But the key part of this, the brand new part of the system, is what's called the Common Automation Platform. Think we're using kind of Windows 95 version of software for your computer. We need to get to today's version of technology. It's going to radically transform the way that we work in space. Way more aircraft, way more of these eVTOLs or Ubers in the air. We're going to have drones in the airspace. We're going to be able to handle all of that because of this brand new system. Now, it's going to take us some time to develop that, and we got to test it. But we're going to be able to deploy that very quickly. And we're doing it because the Congress gave us the money. But Donald Trump has led this effort. I told you this before. President Trump talked about air traffic control and its need to be radically reformed best in the world, brand new, before he even gave me the job. And so that we have his leadership is what's driving this initiative so fast and so quickly. And what's interesting is we have all these CEOs, because of President Trump and how important this is to the American people, engaging with us. And when I travel, sometimes I say the FAA hates me because it seems like every flight I'm on is delayed. I know Americans feel that too. We're going to get it fixed. You can count on the Trump administration, Sean Duffy, to make it happen, to fix air traffic. And by the way, we're going back to the moon. Baby, it is going to be great, Sean Hannity. America, America first in space. We have to lead, we have to drive it.
Godspeed, John Glenn. All right, Sean Duffy, Godspeed to you. We appreciate that and look forward to the launch tomorrow, and we wish you luck. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.